Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live here on Patreon, and we're going to be talking a little bit today about Orgone energy and, of course, the Black Pyramid under Alaska. Some of the reports I'm getting right now is that the United States government is working with a new type of alien entities at the Black Pyramid in Alaska. And these particular entities that we are working with, they're trying to teach us how to harness Orgone energy. Now that is a bit concerning depending on which direction you look at Orgone energy. I've been told that Orgone energy sources from the sun, and that if you can harness it correctly, you can use it to power things. We know that for example, the Black Pyramid of Alaska is fully operational and is able to produce energy. That's one thing I've been told. But I also know, too, that the reptilians have been working on ways to be able to capture souls. The issue of Orgone energy, though, has got such wide variety of possibilities that I just figured I would just share some of that information with you, because I personally don't know which way to think about it. And so I looked at several different things, and this is one here, and I'll play a little clip of this video here. This is Mr. Reich and what he was doing with his research on Orgone energy. So I'd like for you to listen to this here for just a moment.
According to Reich, this energy permeated the universe, and orgone imbalances could create health problems. Reich claimed orgone treatment could combat cancer. His ideas eventually caught the government's attention. According to declassified FBI files, Reich was under investigation for ties to the Communist Party. In 1947, the agency concluded that Dr. Reich was not a communist agent and did not believe his research was subversive. Then the FDA began to persecute Reich, suing him in 1954 to place an injunction on the shipment of orgone-related devices and literature. He was arrested that same year. According to skeptics, Reich was locked up for making false claims and distributing what amounted to snake oil, but others don't buy that story. Here's where it gets crazy. While mainstream historians believe the feds prosecuted Reich for alleged communist ties, his supporters paint a different picture. These theorists say Reich was singled out because his orgone accumulators worked. He did not request payment when treating people, and he held demonstrations to prove the effectiveness of the technology, chiefly focusing on the orgone chamber. These boxes are made from layers of wood, wool, and metals. According to Reich, they concentrate ambient orgone energy, which can cure physical ailments. Reich also used orgone to operate his cloudbuster, which he claimed could manipulate cloud cover.
Now, that's just some of the points there that gets made there. You know, it does seem to be that you can capture the energy. Other points to, as he mentioned, cloud busters, things like that. The things that I've been hearing is that, yes, you can capture the energy and use it in place of electrical energy. This actually got brought up because I was asking about electric cars. Will an EMP strike actually do away with all the electric cars on our planet? Excuse me, not electric cars, but the gasoline cars, and then be replaced because they want to go with an electrical system. That, I was told, would probably not happen, because in the case of electric cars, you have a fast charge and a slow charge. If you're using a fast charge, it would be the equivalency of like trying to power 200 houses at one time to do a fast charge on an electric vehicle. And therefore, if you had all these electric cars out there, it would fry the grid. We couldn't handle that much electricity. So the fossil fuel vehicles are definitely around to stay. Thus, an EMP shield would certainly be a viable thing for those of you that do have gasoline-powered cars, which most of us do. So, you know, I got curious about this Orgone energy, and of course I was told that the aliens that they're working with are working using technology there at the Black Pyramid, which brought me to another individual here, and this is this lady here, who's been speaking about the Black Pyramids for a long period of time. What is her name? Linda Moulton Howe. And Linda has really brought about a lot of disclosure on the Black Pyramids of Egypt. And I'm going to play this clip here from an interview she was in back in 2016. And I've tried to contact her a couple of times. She's reached back out to me. We just never have fully gotten connected together. Listening to what Linda has to say here.
93, where they were watching television just like normal after dinner, and there was a program that came on and said that there was a special about a large pyramid that had been found underground about 60 miles west of Mount McKinley in the Denali Park. And the Fort Richardson intel guy said that they all talked in the rec room about, my God, here we are in Alaska, and they're saying there's this huge pyramid, that it's underground. I want to find out more about that. After this broadcast, I thought I want to go and explore this area. So he called up the Channel 13 TV station in Anchorage and said, I just saw with other guys this show, and I would like to buy a copy of this program. And so he said, I just decided I would drive down to that station, and I asked for the manager's office. Came out, I said, I would like to pay money for a copy of that program that you had on last night about the underground pyramid in Alaska. And now he's talking to the general manager, and the general manager said, you must be mistaken. We didn't broadcast anything last night about an underground pyramid. He said, well, I was with 40 guys, and we watched it and we talked about it. It was on your station. And the manager said, no, there's been some misunderstanding. And the intel guy says, the manager goes back into his office.
The fascinating thing about what Linda's bringing up here is that this actually aired on national television, but then somebody pulled the plug on this, and then the station is denying that they even aired the broadcast about the Black Pyramid under Alaska. And I do know, it's been told to me that it is considered a classified project. It is top secret. They don't want people knowing about it. But they are working with alien entities to power up all the pyramids on the planet. It's one of the ways that they are able to recharge the alien spacecraft. And speaking about recharging the alien spacecraft, I've been told that alien spacecraft can also even charge their systems up when volcanoes are about to erupt, which kind of brought me to an interesting Twitter feed that I was given here. It said forecasts were seen over Fukushima after the 7.4 earthquake that happened, of course, here on March the 16th. So the Galactic Federation crafts weaken earthquakes and volcanoes and want to be seen gradually without fear. They know where the cameras are, etc. Da 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 da. Right? Well, here's the interesting thing. They do have the spacecraft right there above Fukushima, some kind of spacecraft there that supposedly was minimizing the impact of this earthquake. And from what I've been told on these things is that it's not just minimizing the impact, but they're able to draw the energy from the actual, in the case of volcanoes, I've never been told anything about it as far as earthquakes, but I could imagine that earthquakes as well, because it is magma movement, things like that, the Earth's crust movement. I don't really know, but perhaps so, maybe not, don't really know. But nonetheless, I did capture that on the webcam there, that spacecraft there that was actually there over Fukushima here on March the 16th. Thought that was kind of interesting. But at any rate, weird things are going on, guys. A lot of weird things. And we're also, I've been told that we're going to see a lot of flooding towards the fall of this year. All of these things having to do with Planet X and its arrival into our solar system. But even though it's arriving in our solar system here this year, I'm still told that it's going to be later in the decade before it actually passes the Earth. I don't know how true that is. Maybe that's the case, maybe not. But you know, I know there's a lot of people, including Marshall Masters, that believes that we're looking closer to 2024. I talked to Marshall here just recently. Very, very interesting insights that he shared with me there. But we're going to keep a close watch on everything, try to get you as much information as we possibly can, and share those things as we see those develop. But the Black Pyramid, this Orgone energy, that's one thing that's really got my interest peaked right now. And in knowing that these entities are working with our government. and I can't help but believe that all these wars that are going on are also part of leading up to all these global changes, and of course, these energy changes that we'll end up seeing in the very near future. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Israeli News Live. Have a blessed day.